What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda for the NES. In the last episode, we took down Goma, and in this episode, we're going to be finish off the 7th dungeon, the Demon. So, we are going to get going. Now, in this dungeon is much easier than the last one. I don't know how that works, but it's definitely a lot easier. And here we just have a couple Moldorms, which aren't that difficult, but the last time I fought these and said that, I had a little bit of trouble, so I'm gonna hold my mouth a little bit. Or hold my tongue, I guess. So we have some rupees. I highly recommend you come into this dungeon having at least 100 rupees, because we're gonna need to get a bomb upgrade later, which will be extremely helpful. So we just need to light up this room so we can see that there are a bunch of keys, but we don't need to deal with them right now. We're just going to keep on moving to take down these Goria. And hopefully we take out the head one first, or at least relatively soon, because these are annoying. Even though we can just deflect all their boomerangs like that. And we get to meet our old buddy already, the old man. There's a secret in the tip of the nose. Well, once we have the map, we'll be able to see where that is, and that'll actually be helpful. And we have a mini boss here. We have Dig Dogger, except he's a little bit more difficult this time. We're gonna have to deal with 3 of these actually in the dungeon, which is kind of funny. And I guess the producers started to realize that their bosses weren't really that difficult. And so those are just gonna give us some bombs, not a big deal. But later we're gonna have to fight Dig Dogger again, and again actually. But he's gonna split up into 3 eyes instead of just 1, which is, I guess, a little bit more difficult. I'd say the most difficult part is actually just avoiding all the fireballs being shot at you. So we're going to go all the way to the right there and grab the key, and then we're going to head all the way back so that we can progress further into the dungeon. And I already lit up this room for you once, so I hope you guys don't need to see it again. And you can come into this room and fight these Goria, but there's actually no real advantage to, because that leads back to the beginning of the dungeon. So if you need a shortcut out or something like that, that's where you can go. But we are going to be bombing this northern wall and heading on up. And once we're here, we're going to pull out our candle and light up the room. And in this room, we will be getting the compass. And we just got a lot of rupees. That's nice. Clock power up. Haven't got one of those in a while now that I think about it. But anyways, moving on. I'm gonna take out some more Goria. Not that difficult, even though I'm getting bumped into them. They're all just clustering over there. Wonder why. And so once we do that, we're gonna go to the left, because we have a lot of stuff to collect right now. So first we're gonna take out our bombs to get rid of these Dodongos, and feel free to be rather extravagant with your bombs, because there are multiple areas to get them in the near future. And wow, they're all just clustering right there. The game is starting to get all glitchy. And I could use that fairy. And so we get some nice rupees. And we're gonna go north to meet the old man again, who is gonna offer us a bomb bag upgrade. So this is the last bomb bag upgrade, and it fully refills your bombs, which is why I said you can go for it and be a little bit more extravagant with your bomb usage in this room. And for some reason my controller stopped working. And we're back. I guess I can give it a break because it's from the 1980s. But that's alright, we're gonna keep on moving on, and I don't want to deal with all those ropes, so we're gonna go in this room and get the key and then head on out. If you defeat all the keys in that room, you can get some more bombs. We don't need them anymore. So we're just cruising along. Oh, I'd also like to mention, I subscribed to a channel probably like a week or so ago. The channel name is called Nethecto, and he's the masochistic gamer. He goes through a whole bunch of different challenges for classic games, mostly Mega Man, and he's done some speedruns of Mario games, and it's really great, some great videos, and look forward to more from him. So you guys should go check out his channel, and he actually has inspired me to start up doing some of my own like challenge runs and speed runs and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start getting into that too. And anyways, back to Zelda. Here we have Dig Dogger, an example of how he splits into 3 eyes. And still not a problem. But get back here, you fairy! Always running away. But once we defeat him, we're gonna bomb this wall so that we can narrowly escape those fireballs and take down some more Moldorms, which are just annoying because I appreciate when enemies have recoil, and I literally just walked right into them. Wow. Must have been a late night, but that'll get us a nice key. I like when enemies have recoil because then that provides like a little safety. You don't have to worry about them running into you right after you stop to hit them. Oh well. What you gonna do? So let's take out these Goria, hopefully, without losing much health. I am a little off today, I guess. Hopefully I don't get lost in Hyrule, though. So we get some rupees. We're gonna want to try and get 68 rupees by the end of this dungeon so we can pick up a potion, but if not, it's not that big of a deal. So now we have a hungry Goria! Hungry Goria! That's what I thought of when I first saw it. Hungry hippos, oh my gosh. But we have to feed him the meat so that we can move further into the dungeon. And so in this room, we're gonna light it up, and hopefully get rid of that Goria. Nope, not yet. But I hate those bubble enemies. They're so annoying when you can't use your sword. And we're just gonna make a run for it, and we don't need to defeat all these enemies, and going to the right is a waste of a key, so don't even bother going there. So we're just going to this northern room, and money! We get a lot of rupees. So, yeah, definitely take this route. And in this room, we've just got some more enemies to deal with. Not that big of a deal. I don't know why I switched items. But, yeah, a heart. Even though I'm getting hit, it's alright. Restock our bombs. And we get more rupees, and we're that much closer to getting a full life potion. We're going to want to get a red potion so it restores all of our hearts, which we're pretty close to having the maximum health soon. And so we need to defeat all these Goria if we're going to get out of here, because it locks the door as soon as you get in. But that gets us a nice key, so of course we're going to come here and grab that. And... oh, I forgot. We can actually bomb this wall, I believe, to get some advice from the old man. Again, he's all over this dungeon. Or, actually, we've already established that there are multiple old men. And, oh, I guess there isn't. My memory is betraying me. That's alright. So, you don't really need to defeat all of the Goria in here, so we're just gonna skip them all, because pointless fights are pointless. And we're gonna keep going. Now we do want to defeat all these Goria here, because there's a movable block in that diamond in the middle, as I'm sure you can assume, because there is a staircase there. And so we're gonna move this block that you can only move after you defeat all the Goria, and that's gonna get us a new secret item, which is the red candle. And what the red candle does is, it's the exact same function as the blue candle, except you can use it multiple times per screen. So, in reality, it's not all that helpful, but it is helpful. So, and because this is a 100% walkthrough, we're going to be getting everything. Now, if you're running low on bombs, you can go into this northern room, and there will be 2 Moldorms that, once you defeat them, you can, they'll drop bombs, which is helpful. Bombs aren't that necessary for the rest of the dungeon, so it's not that crucial. And we get some bombs from these Goria. Surprisingly, I don't know why they're dropping so many bombs. There are a lot of secret walls, I guess you could say, but we got a bomb upgrade, and yeah. But here we have our last Dig Dogger, and hopefully, nope, you can take him out relatively quickly. I have taken him out in like a couple seconds before, but, and do you see that? The eye was like bouncing around in the statue. That was weird. And one more eye, come on. And there we go. So we're gonna keep on moving. We're actually pretty close to the end of the dungeon. We don't need to deal with all these Dodongos, and they don't even drop anything. Well, they actually drop bombs, but it's gonna take 6, or at best 3 bombs to kill them, and they only drop 4, so it's not even really worth it. And now, I hate this room. I hate this room. there are 5 wall masters you need to defeat. But the thing is, these bubbles are so annoying because they make it so you can't use your sword when we need to fight off these wall masters. The wall masters make it so if they grab you, they take you all the way back to the beginning of the dungeon. You can see how that'll get really annoying really fast. And I don't want to get hit, Oh my gosh. Thank goodness these bubbles don't actually do damage, but they could do almost as much damage with just making my sword be completely useless. So now that we've defeated all the wall masters, we can move that one block, and yes, I had to go through and test every single block in this room to figure out it was that one. But it's all worth it in the end. So now we're getting really close to the boss. I'm sure you've been hearing him roaring throughout this dungeon. And he's a good buddy, so I'm sure you'll recognize him. We're gonna want our sword beam. Sword beam is really helpful for this boss. Not necessary, but really helpful. And we're 1 heart away. Wow. 1 heart away. Really, game? Really? It would have been better had you just not given me any hearts at all, and I wouldn't have even had any hope. But anyways, here we are at the boss, our good old friend Aquamentus. And he's really not that difficult. He just takes 3 hits from the magical rod. He takes 2 hits from your magical sword beam. So it'd be even easier that way. And just like that, we are 1 heart away from maximum health, and we have another piece of the Triforce. That much closer to saving the princess. And yeah. Alright, now we're back at the the fountain where fairies don't live. And ooh, I need those rupees. We are gonna head over to the last dungeon. Well, last dungeon with a piece of the Triforce. That is the lion. And it's probably the most difficult to find because there's no old man that gives you a hint about it, and there's no hint about it. So, and it's not like an out there in the open entrance. So you have to do some sort of secret to find it. So we're gonna buy that red potion there just in case. We've been cutting it close with that last dungeon, and the dungeons only get harder from here on out. So it's always better to be prepared.
Be prepared. This lesson must be shared.
And so now this dungeon, once you know where it is, I mean, you would say, oh, like, I would definitely pick that out. That's definitely easy to see. But with all these bushes and everything, this one kind of looks out of place, but that's the only reason you would ever guess it is a dungeon. Gotta go by all these Octoroks. Dodge the arrows, or not dodge the arrows in this case. And there's really no reason to have rupees anymore, just so you know. And this one bush that's blocking our path, that is the entrance to the next dungeon. So, with that being said, I will see all of you guys in the next episode. But until then, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.